curiosity, enlightenment, commitment. And they go in that order. And you can't get the order wrong. Curiosity is when there's something about you as a thought leader, as a person, as an individual, that I sense could help me survive. So Sean knows a lot about YouTube. I really want to crack this nut. There you go. I'm now interested in Sean. Sean, you're a great guy. You're an amazing person. They're not interested in you.
Sure.
They're interested in the wisdom that you have that can help them survive.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons we want to lead with that. Now that I think Sean might have something that can help me survive on YouTube, I'm not going to buy anything from him. What I'm actually going to do is see if he's trustworthy, see if my suspicion is true. So I'm going to watch some YouTube videos. I might download a lead generator. And when I download a lead generator, by the way, I'm getting emails maybe every week from you that is continuing to enlighten me about how you could help me survive, what it looks like, what it costs. I'm in the due diligence phase without even knowing it. And then you enter into the commitment window. And the commitment window is when the problem that Sean solves overlaps with him asking me to buy something to solve it. And so we have always got to be doing three things: piquing people's curiosity, enlightening them, and asking for the money. We always have to be doing those three things because we just don't know where our customers are, and we're doing some mass advertising. Well, in order to do that, you create a marketing funnel. You create lead generators that capture the email. Something about your lead generator piqued my curiosity, so I downloaded it. You began to enlighten me. And at the bottom of the enlightenment, you said, P.S., by the way, we're running a 30% sale on this, and we'd love to have you. So you're always saying, will you go out with me? And will you marry me at the same time? It's how I got married. I just kept asking my wife to marry me. Finally, she goes, well, okay, you're a sad case. I gotta give you this. So, you're dating in order to get to know somebody, and you're asking for, their hand in marriage. It's all relational. Everything's relational. I say that as an analogy because my wife sat me down after we've been dating for about 3 or 4 months. And I'm ready to get married. I wanted to marry you 2 years before we ever started dating. I'm done. And she said, Don, you know what? You're a quality time guy. And I thought she was being nice. She was actually correcting me. I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, you just know what you want very quickly. It doesn't take you very long. You always make fast decisions. She said, I want you to understand, I'm a quantity time girl, meaning it's going to take you a minute. Years later, I thought that was just such a funny anecdote in our marriage. But later, I was looking at data from my business, and I realized that 85% of our orders were coming a year after somebody gave me their email address. And I realized, oh, these are quantity time buyers. 85% of buyers are quantity time, meaning if you're not emailing me every week for a year, you're going to lose the order.
Wow. That's a profound insight. This is a masterclass, and I'm really appreciating you breaking this down. You also say build a product ladder, and we touched on that. The product ladder might be a way to engage free, lower ticket.
Yeah, half of the things that you create are actually free, but they're also not demanding your time.
Yeah.
So and when I say free, they're giving you their email address, which I put the economic value of an email address at about $35. In other words, the psychological money that I'm giving you when I give you my email address is $35. I will part with my email address about as willingly as I'll part with $35. So let's not think that this isn't a sacrifice on the part of our customer.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it can go up. And if they're getting your time, that could be higher ticket. Hey, we're about to get back into the podcast in just a second, but I have a question for you. Do you want to grow your personal brand this year? Do you need more leads and sales in your business? If the answer is yes, then right now is the best time to go all in on YouTube. Today's podcast is brought to you by thinkmasterclass.com, where you can get on-demand access to a 1-hour deep dive training revealing how to start and grow a profitable YouTube channel this year. For a limited time, you can get access to this on-demand class entirely for free, where you will learn the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when starting a YouTube channel, the new rules and changes that have been happening on YouTube and how you can use them to create an unfair advantage, and the exact strategy we use at Think Media to generate over 350,000 organic views every single day. The data is clear. 70% of viewers claim that YouTube makes them more aware of new brands. So don't wait any longer to start growing your brand and business with YouTube. Just go to thinkmasterclass.com to get access to this no fluff, highly tactical, free on-demand training. That's thinkmasterclass.com.
I give you several categories of goals to set for your coaching business in the book, but let me give you two that are really important. The first is the most important, and that is lead measure goals. Lead measure goals are how many people downloaded my free PDF, how many people watched my YouTube videos, or better, how many YouTube videos did I create, quality YouTube videos did I create. If I want to build a coaching business, I'm just going to let the money take care of itself. What I'm actually going to measure are the number of lunches that I have with potential clients, the number of email acquisitions that I get, the number of emails that I've written to put into my CRM. Those are the goals that I'm going to establish in order to get my business started. The money will take care of itself. If you do things that lead to orders, you'll get orders later. Don't worry about the orders. It's kind of like everything else in life. If you want to lose weight, don't set a goal to lose weight. Set a goal to get up every morning and go for and get 10,000 steps, right? And also set a goal to eat less than 2,200 calories. If you just do that, the weight will take care of itself. I think it was Brian Walsh who wrote a book after winning so many Super Bowls with the San Francisco 49ers. The score takes care of itself. Never think about the score. Think about the process it takes to win. Then set goals within that process and you're going to be just fine.
Build or join a community to help you grow yourself and your business.
Yeah, there are 8 steps to build a coaching business. That one's the most important. Being in a community of other coaches is a greater predictor of success than whether or not you have a CRM, a website, a menu of products, a product ladder. All of that is secondary to being in a community of other coaches. But here's why. Because if you're in a community of other coaches, you're going to build a CRM, a menu of products. All of that's going to happen. But it's going to happen because we tend to behave like the tribe that we are hanging out with. It is the number one predictor of success. So if you can find, and all you need to do is find other people in your area who are coaching and buy them breakfast once a month. You know, I remember, Brendan Bouchard.
Yeah.
Brendan used to live in Portland, Oregon. And Brendan had a condo that he didn't live in. It was a condo that he furnished that he used maybe once a week. He would get a group of guys together for breakfast in the morning. He would pay for breakfast. Then we would go up into his condo and he would just say, "What'd you learn this week?" And he created a mastermind. It was all free. We were all learning an incredible amount. But it was actually genius of him to create a community of content creators. This was 25 years ago. You know, how he's got to be worth tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. And he put together a community. I was amazed in researching that chapter that it always struck me as odd, because I've been a big fan of psychology, that so many fathers and mothers of modern psychology came out of Vienna in the 20s through the 50s. So they were all in Vienna, the 20s to the 50s. And like an idiot, I thought, oh, well, there must have been something in the water. Those were the smartest psychologists. That's not true. There were smart psychologists in Australia. There were smart psychologists in the United States, of course. There were smart psychologists in South Africa. What made Austria different was two things: the university system and the coffee shops. They were meeting with each other, and they were threatened by each other. They competed with each other. They learned from each other. They disagreed with each other, right? Alfred Adler is going to disagree with Sigmund Freud. I don't think I'm mistaken to say my favorite psychologist, Viktor Frankl, spent a day with Sigmund Freud. And Sigmund Freud launches this thing and Adler completely disagrees, and Frankl says it's not pleasure, it's meaning. And all of a sudden there's a midrash taking place that launches the fathers of modern psychology. Think about this. In tennis, I'm a big tennis fan. Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and Novak Djokovic are the top 3 winningest tennis players on the male circuit of all time. They actually accomplished, by the way, like Pete Sampras has won like 9 Grand Slams. Then it's 20 for Federer, I believe, 21 or something like that for, I'm going to butcher this, for Nadal. And then Novak, I believe, is right now at 23 or 24. And I hope he gets one more, because then he passes Margaret Court as the greatest tennis player of all time, undisputed. And I like Novak. They all did it at the same time. I think, now think about that. The scarcity of the actual Grand Slams available. while they're doing it at the same time. So Pete won it with no competition. The greatest players of all time, the three of them are playing in the exact same season, competing at the exact same tournaments.
Wow.
But I think you remove two of those and the number one players probably got 10. Because it was the competition that forced those three guys to say, winning is scarce right now. A Grand Slam victory is scarce because those two powerhouses are trying to take it from me, and they all upped their game. If you want to be a 7-figure business coach, get in a room every week with somebody else who's competing with you, and you're going to do just fine. You're going to lose sleep over that.
Yeah.
And hopefully those guys all love each other.
Yeah.
Massive respect. And I feel the same way about Michael Hyatt and Dave Ramsey and Patrick Lencioni and John Gordon and Henry Cloud. I have dinner with these guys. I'd love to have dinner with Patrick. I haven't met Patrick yet.
Yeah.
But we sit and we talk about what we're doing and what we're sharing and what we're writing and all that kind of stuff. And I leave dinner with Henry Cloud. First of all, I think Henry Cloud is a savant. I will never be as intelligent as Henry Cloud. But I leave so inspired and wanting to do more and wanting to write better. So it's the community, I think, is the greatest predictor of success.
If you enjoyed this podcast and are ready for some deep dive YouTube strategy, just go to thinkmasterclass.com to get access to my 1-hour on-demand YouTube strategy class. You'll be looking over my shoulder as I share my best tips, and you can watch it on demand right now at thinkmasterclass.com.